Good morning. My name is Angela Lewis, and I've had the honor of serving as Enloe High School's student body president this year. I would like to warmly welcome all 2020 graduates, parents, family members, and friends to Enloe Gifted and Talented International Baccalaureate Magnet High School's 57th commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. We are honored that you have joined us for this special occasion. To begin our celebrations, our 2020 Senior Class Vice President Christian Campos will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, it is a privilege for me to introduce our class of 2020 Senior Class President. Hilton Stallworth is the son of Ozzie and Maria Stallworth. He plans to attend North Carolina State University as a Goodnight Scholar. He is also the recipient of the Lockheed Martin STEM Scholarship.
To the esteemed, exemplary, extraordinary Enloe Eagles of the class of 2020. Last year, I told you all that we were entering the endgame, that while our road beforehand might have been rough, to hold fast and finish strong down the path that we have started on. I had promised you all that this year would be a year that you wouldn't forget, that this year would be a year to see your goals and your ambitions come to light, that now was the time to truly give it our all, because this was our final year in high school, and so we needed to take this year by the horns and mold it into whatever we wanted to make it. And in my personal opinion, I believe that we accomplished that. I personally believe that we did not let this year go to waste. I believe that we made something out of ourselves this year. I believe that we did struggle, that we faced challenges, that we pushed the status quo, that we fought battles, personal or academic, that we might have thought that we couldn't have overcome. I believe that we did that this year. I believe we had cherished moments with our friends, that we sat together with one another, hugged one another, laughed with one another, and most importantly, succeeded with one another. So while I asked you to join me as we entered into the endgame, I now realize that this is only the beginning. We have unlocked unlimited mode in this game of life, unlimited referencing the unlimited possibilities of what your life can become. Don't limit yourself to anything less than what you are truly capable of, because your possibilities are infinite. We have all been told that the majority of people that we grew up with in high school will soon fade into the distance as we transition into our adult lives. But I am here to encourage and urge you to not let that happen. Life is about change. It is about growth and development. But you can't outgrow goodness. If you have a friend or teacher who means something to you, let them know. Tell them how much you appreciate them and how much they've impacted your life in high school. I'm not saying to hold on to everybody as a best friend, but remember, we are all Eagles. I can in full faith state that I believe we have attended high school with people who will be some of the most successful and driven members of society that this world has ever seen. The work ethic that it takes to succeed at Enloe, the work ethic that has been fostered within us, will take us further than we can imagine, if only we utilize it. Knowledge is power, and one thing that this school has shown me is that knowledge is there, but it won't always be handed to you on a silver platter. Sometimes you got to dig for it. Sometimes you have to fight, inquire, research, and experiment just to get the information that you're looking for. And sometimes we may feel like it's not worth it, that the effort does not always equal the payoff. But I urge you, when you feel that way, to remember that you are someone special, and that not everyone can do what you do. And you wasting your gift is an insult and disservice to those who may be looking to you to make a change that they can't within themselves. So fight on. Have courage and perseverance and fight on in whatever you seek to do. I want nothing less than for all of you to be successful, to hopefully have a life in which you aren't only financially stable, but one where you're enriched emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I hope that you don't forget the positive values that your parents and mentors have instilled in you. Remember that the words that were spoken to you in love are worth their weight in gold, so never forget them. As we enter into this brave new world, we may face many challenges, such as prejudice and racism, that may at times seem almost unbearable. But remember, our accomplishments are only amplified by the journey that it took to get there. Do not let yourself be defined by a stereotype. Make the life that you want to have be your own. But at the same time, remember, while you may not be defined by your race, gender, or nationality, act in a way that will shed a positive light upon it. Be an example to the younger generation of what a positive role model that looks like them can be. Something that they can aspire to instead of being held down to a social stigma that keeps them in a box thinking that their destiny is already planned out for them. As graduates, there is now a leader in each of us. Our leadership may take different forms, and we will all have different journeys. But something that unites us all is that when challenges arise, we will all have the power to overcome them. The power to make a change for the better and to fight for what's right. Never forget, the world is bigger than us. And since our time here is limited, make the most of it. Because there was no one else capable of being and becoming the person that you are meant to be. One small voice truly can teach the world a song.
Thank you, Hilton, for those kind words of wisdom as we transition into this new phase of life. Our next student speaker is the 2020 recipient of the George A. Cady Enloe High School Alumni Scholarship. Recipients of the Cady Scholarship, named in honor of Enloe's first principal, demonstrate exceptional scholarship, character, and integrity, as well as outstanding service and involvement within the school and community. Jasmine Lorraine Benes is the daughter of Bernadette Benes. She plans to attend Wake Tech Community College in the fall. As a C-STEP student, she has a guaranteed transfer to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
To my fellow graduates, when I found out I had the opportunity to give a speech, I immediately knew I didn't want to waste it, giving a speech that I and students like me couldn't relate to. So, if you've ever felt ostracized because of your race, debilitated because you didn't have the same resources as everyone else, or ashamed for any other identifier, this speech is yours. We all know this isn't the graduation you envisioned, but I want to thank everyone for still making this time special. I want to take this moment to congratulate you. I want to especially congratulate you if you're the first in your family to graduate high school, or if you're the first in your family to go to college. Congratulations. With our own odds stacked against us, we did it. See, from its conception, the American education system wasn't made with me or you in mind. It was only for the privileged few. America is the only place where College Board, a nonprofit, can make billions off administering the SAT, a test with a deeply racist history, or where Princeton Review and Y2 can charge more than a rent payment for tutoring, or where in our own district some schools have less funding than others. In comparison to the rest of the industrialized world, America is the most unequal. And we face this head-on along with our own struggles. Every day, we had to bend over backwards and break our bones to fit into this one-size-fits-all system. But thank you to all the teachers who saw me, saw us, and spared us a femur or two. For me, I would have had to break a few more bones if my mom didn't make the necessary sacrifices for me to go to Enloe, where I got to be part of amazing clubs and be taught by passionate teachers and be classmates with some of the most inspiring people I've ever met. Experiences I wouldn't have if I had gone to school down the street from my house. See, none of us got here alone. With God, our teachers, our families, and friends, we got through this heinous system diploma in hand. And might I add, we looked pretty good while doing it. So how radical and how extraordinary is it for us to graduate and be our ancestors' wildest dreams? See, resilience isn't a trait people are born with. It's not something you can just foster overnight. Resilience is a choice. Throughout these 4 years, every day, we chose to get out of bed and jump over our hurdles. As reformist Mariam Kaba puts it, hope is a discipline. It's something you actively have to cultivate. And it's that same discipline that's going to carry you through this pandemic, these next years, and through moments of doubt and anxiety. But at the end of the day, you have to dare to dream a different future than the one society has for you. And I don't know about you, but I'm so excited to see all of your dreams turn into realities. To make my dream a reality, I chose a different path than most of my classmates. And it was my time at Enloe that taught me to continue to persist. And in my own moment of fear, a friend reminded me that our journeys are going to be vastly different. I wanted to be like everyone else, but then I realized there's beauty in the fact that we're not all the same. See, your story is colorful, and it is resonant and true. It's yours. So claim it and own it. But most importantly, be proud of it. See, each person's story has an infinite number of threads. Some threads are brighter. Along the way, a few threads may break, but we still all share our common thread of our Enloe experience. It's the combination of all of these threads that creates your life's tapestry. But what I find the most sensational is when our collective stories are woven together. Together is where we create workable solutions and we solve issues that, frankly, other generations haven't been able to. And that's what's special about you and me and the class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine, for reminding us that even in times like this, we must strive for equity. Our final student speaker this morning is the founder of Banana Nut Scholars. In addition to the amazing direct service provided to the WCPSS schools through this organization, she is one of the 100 youth recognized as a 2020 Prudential Spirit of Community Award recipient. Brooke Chow is the daughter of Andrew and Louise Chow. She plans to attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill as a Joseph E. Pogue Scholar and is a member of the 2020 Coca-Cola Scholars.
Dear fellow seniors, I know that today was not the day that we originally envisioned. Rather than walking across the stage, we are sitting in our rooms, our kitchens, or even sleeping in bed still. But if there's one thing I've learned about this class, our class of 2020, it's that we can take on anything. Through these tough times, we've continued doing amazing things, demonstrating resilience, strength, and courage. We have continued working long hours at grocery stores and local businesses. We have continued learning and pushing through our final exams. We have bit our tongues as our college visits, internships, and senior trips got canceled, one by one. We have entertained each other through jokes, memes, and TikToks, all while holding back tears. And most of all, we have social distanced, quarantined, and stayed away from even our closest friends. Although we won't have a traditional celebration, I know our hard work won't go unnoticed. 10 years from now, we will be the future nurses, engineers, entrepreneurs, teachers, and workers that inspire change for future generations. Even during this time, remember that we still have the power to shape history and not be passively shaped by it. So to all my fellow seniors, you are not alone. Although we missed the ideal senior year we conjured in our minds, we will finish strong. And although we are miles apart, we can still be there for each other. This is my call to action. Pull out your phones, text a classmate, email a teacher, and contact someone that you appreciate. Just remember, we are in this together, and if we can get through this, we can get through anything.
Good morning to our incomparably strong, extraordinarily resilient, and indelibly esteemed class of 2020. It brings me great joy to provide a few remarks before we recognize each of you individually as Eagle Scholars and graduates. This past Friday, I walked through the halls of Enloe, completely silent and vacated. I couldn't help but to reflect on the time where you and your classmates filled the hallways and every square foot of the building. I walked to the empty atrium, yearning to see seniors gather before school and during a class change, where I would greet you with a nod, a fist bump, or providing you with gentle reminders about getting to class and not being late. I walked towards the cafeteria and I passed by the courtyard. And although many of you didn't eat in those areas your junior and senior years, I can remember as freshmen and sophomores how you used that time to develop peer relationships and take a load off of your academic work. In my walk around campus, I saw flyers, posters, and advertisements for prom, the spring musical, and yearbooks. And I wondered how our seniors were faring, knowing that these pivotal moments would not happen. I took a walk to the gym, to the auditorium, and to the athletic fields, and realized that your final games and performances have all ended, with many of your spring showcases never to be displayed. It hurt my heart to pass by classrooms and to know you'll never feel the passion and the warmth again from your teachers in these spaces, never to have the face-to-face interactions in the classroom setting. I ended my walk in the main office, where on Mondays and occasional days throughout the week, it was my pleasure to brag on you and to end my announcements with a valiant attempt of alliteration. Have a marvelous Monday or a fantastic Friday. This walk around Enloe was in dedication to this class. I've done this walk several times on the weekends when no one else was in the building, but this time, this walk was much different. It was devastating and it hurt. You were robbed of so many memories of the senior experience, and my heart goes out to each of you. But if I know this class well, not finishing your senior year traditionally is not defeat. It is merely an opportunity for you to create new experiences and perspectives about life. Let's travel back. On August 29th, 2016, you and I set forth on a 4-year journey together at Enloe. This graduating class is especially dear to me, as you are the first graduating class for which I have been with for the entire 4 years as principal. We started and we will end this journey together. In this 4-year journey, you were instrumental and integral to much of the change happening within the school and throughout our community. In your 4 years at Enloe, you have shown grave care and concern for your community, resulting in contributions of over $732,000, going to the Urban Ministry of Wake, the Raleigh-Wake Partnership, the Autism Society of North Carolina, and the Southeast Raleigh Promise. Even during this pandemic, where seniors have a legit excuse to focus on themselves, you found it to be your responsibility to contribute over $10,000 for the Interfaith Food Shuttle to feed Wake County students. Most recently, you contributed over $2,000 to Camp Kashim in memory of Patrick Nixon, a 2019 graduate who passed away less than a month ago. You fought for gun violence and safety in our schools as you peacefully demonstrated and walked out of school in solidarity to students who lost their lives in mass school shootings. You helped change the way we look at the physiological needs of our fellow classmates by helping to institute the Second Chance Breakfast program. Eagle Scholars, you have helped to transform our school community in ways that continue to impress and inspire folks across the county, the state, and the nation. You are the change we wish to see in the world. All of you are capable of making a difference and have proven that time and time again. I'm reminded of a few of our Eagle Scholars that have already served as change agents. Brooke Chow, co-founder of the Banana Nut Scholars, that raised over $20,000 to buy classroom supplies so that teachers wouldn't have to go into their pockets to provide for their students. She is now focusing her efforts in helping the medical professionals with necessary items during this pandemic. Brooke is changing and transforming lives. Richard Okoro and Susanna Morowski, both of these scholars led a session with the educators across the state on student equity and how it impacts the school culture. Richard and Susanna have been leading voices of change and use this platform to encourage and inspire teachers, administrators, and legislators to amplify the power of student voice to lead new and innovative practices to bring about change in schooling for all. Esther Wilango, whose family came to the United States just a few years ago. Esther was proficient in 4 languages, but had to quickly adapt to learning the English language. Today, she will graduate, now being proficient in 5 languages, and will change this world. And lastly, Kashawn Haywood, who has not allowed labels to define him. He is working 2 jobs, making money to provide for his family, received a considerable scholarship award to attend Johnson & Wales while making the honor roll. If you knew his story, you too would say he's made personal changes that will impact him and others in the future to come. As we approach what many are calling a new normal, I challenge the members of the class of 2020 to continue your efforts in changing the world, but to normalize those things which are good. Normalize inclusivity by breaking down systems of inequity and eradicating hatred on all levels. Build a milieu of normalcy as we do for our fellow citizens and support communities, especially those who need a helping hand. Finally, let's establish a standard of normality where it's okay to dream impossible dreams and to make the most unfathomable dream our reality. With all that life has given to you these past few months, you created a new normal. Somehow and some way, this class has persevered in the most trying of times. You have taught us the true meaning of perseverance, opportunity, and resilience. On behalf of the team at Enloe, we believe in you, and we know you'll do remarkable things as you change this world in a new normal created by the class of 2020. I am proud of each and every one of you. With eagle pride, congratulations. Wake County Board of Education, I certify that the seniors seated before us have met all state and local graduation requirements.
Samar Abdul Hadi, Miguel Acevedo Gutierrez, Karina Adams, Ade Damola Adabimpe, Raviteja Achen, Agwu Agwu, Almira Ahmed, Marvin Alcantara Martinez, Nathan Alexander, Tashad Alexander, Jocelyn Alford, Adir Alamseti, Gabriella Allen, India Allen, Kevin Alston, Noelia Alvarez Mendoza, Eni Amaya Lemus, Mynisha Amerson, Nathan Amston, Michaela Anderson, Roxana Andrade Castro, Mizuki Ayagi, Benjamin Arden, Aim Artis, Tanaya Artis, Tazaya Artis, John Adanamuki, Holden Osborne, Lily Ayers, Faizan Azim, Mariah Babu, Soraya Babu, Isabel Baggett, Ariana Banegas Velasquez, Se-Young Bang, Ezekiel Bananikan. Denmark Bartley. Miguel Bejeron. Kylie Beliveau. Jasmine Banas. Malika Bhargava. Karina Bhatia. Daniel Blake. Tanaya Blanks. Rachel Botang. Lillian Boaz. Quadarius Bobbitt. Matthew Bobsian. Joyden Bodie. Derwin Boone. Brandy Boston. Carly Botts. Antonilla Brickhouse. Honesty Bridges. Isabella Broccolo. Elena Brock. Caroline Brooks. Ansley Brown. Khadidra Brown. Thomas Brown. Daniel Bryant. Ryan Bullock. Maya Burchell. Hannah Buttafuso. Sixela Caballero. Francisco Casanio Dino. Chloe Calhoun. Myra Caleja Hernandez. Christian Campos. Devin Kennedy. Shorid Kennedy. Jania Cannon. Micah Caps. Catherine Carsamo Machigua. David Carranza Rojas. Catherine Carter. Maria Castaneda Lopez. Anissa Castaneda Griffin. Adriana Cobble Terry. Sasha Salis Arak. Skylar Chappell. Aisha Chari. Sheridan Charles. Morgan Chavis. Jude Cheek Jones. Gloria Chin. Samuel Chiddick. Brooke Chow. Claire Chu. Ella Safaldi. Tessa Coakley. Chakori Collins. Luca Collina. Laura Cooper. Abigail Corbett. Caitlin Crespo. Jamie Cruz Martin. Dondrikas Colbreth. Danielle Cullen. Samuel Culpepper. Brenna Curtis. Tessa Dahlman. Emily Dye. Orion Dalal. Anya Daniels. Aluwayamife Daudu. Kamalika Das. Neil Davis. Sophia Davis. Mirka de Jesus Castro. Aaliyah Deaver. Taylor Debnam. Vineth Dejaro Gallegos. Jacqueline de la Cruz Ramirez. Horan Deng. Matthew Denoncourt. Alexandria de Rosset. Isha Desai. Avani Deshpande. Rohan Deshpande. Richard D. Augustine. Pagres Divanga. Zachary Dobbin. Isabella Dobbs. Ryland Dahl. Mia Douglas. Malek Dridi. Sophie Dubois. Kareem Dudley. Andrea Dula. Malachi Dunn. Karen Dutta. Nandini Dutta. Gabriel Earp. Charldarius Eaton. Shrivani Idubuganti. Hannah Ellison. Ernest Ermangangchai. Messiah Etheridge. Sterling Everett. Leanna Falvey.
Madeline Fan. Jillian Fay. Anna Fang. Rianne Ferguson. Abigail Floyd. Nevo Fnu. Benjamin Fox Davis. Taya Franks. Leah Freeman. Brianna Fry. Laura Fuentes Crespin.
Aaron Gaither.
Lizette Gallardo Iona. Jose Galvin Pacheco. Irandi Galvez Ramirez.
Vladimir Garcia.
Aiden Jabot. Anatej Gadella. Joshua Ginablazo. Derek Gervin. Niana Gibbs. Kevon Gill. Diamond Gist. Swecha Goli. Kimberly Gonzalez. Anahi Gonzalez Resendez. Flor Gonzalez Figueroa. Madison Goodwin. Lakshmi Golparaj. Emma Gottschalk. Anne Goulian. Coven Govindarajan. Diamond Graham. Lawrence Grant. Chloe Graves. Sarah Greeby. Tyrell Green. Miles Gregor. Cameron Gray. Natalie Grimes. Aditi Gupta. Adrian Guzman. Owen Halbleep. Emma Hale. Alexia Hall. Damia Hall. Jessica Hall. Labrika Hamilton. Abriana Harmon. Michael Harris. Rachel Harris. Owen Hartzell. Akash Hasabni. Keyshawn Haywood. Benjamin Hazel. William Hazelhurst. Cole Headley. Addison Hyder Matur. Roxana Hernandez Rosales. Devin High. Ransom Hill. Sophia Hill. David Heiser. Alexis Holly. Nicholas Holman. Benjamin Holmes. John Hossapple. Daniel Hong. Devin Hope. Ethan Horton. Aubrey Howell. Tristan Illica. Manal Iqbal. Jaya Jackson. Christopher Jenkins. John Jenkins. Mindy G. Bryson Johnson. Catherine Johnson. Kiana Johnson. Ashley Jones. Ian Jones. Caitlin Jones. Passion Jones. Harry Jones. Shamar Jones. Shauna Jones. Brianna Jordan. Jaewon Young. Tejas Kakade. Ravanth Kaladi. Aman Kapoor. Anchita Karwande. Hannah Kaufman. Harliv Kaur. Hannah Keister. Jackson Kerr. Journey King. Jackson Klauke.
Kaya Klamala.
Miles Knoss. Ankith Kadali. Namia Kadali. Shreya Kadali. Joshua Khan. Mary Kolbus. Shreya Kumaragiri. Kira Coons. Sahidi Kathamasu. Subag Kotranavar. Isabel Kravis. Allison Kulikowski. Tejaswini Lankapali. Mari Eugene Lavina. Michael Leary. Jareth Lee.
Luis Lemus Diaz.
Alyssa Lewis. Angela Lewis. Alan Lee. Jeffrey Lee. Tina Lee. Audrey Liu. Benjamin Livaday. Justin Lumpkin. Rudy Luna Hernandez. Sila Luwate. Cynthia Ma. Irene Ma. Joseph Ma. Madison Ma.
Leah Musias.
Gargi Mahadeshwar. Derek Mahato. Naaman Mahmood. Manav Majumdar.
Haiti Maldonado Arroyo.
Jaredith Malari. Vineeth Malniti. Ashley Maney. Amaris Mangum.
Soham Mandrakar. Itzel Marine. Sydney Marks. Joseph Mahmood. Jason Marmalejos. Francisco Marquez Cano. Alexa Martinez. Ricardo Martinez de la Cruz. Jamie Martinson.
Mikel Massenberg.
Lily Masood. Maya Masood. Kira Matthews. Evelyn Mauger. Kendall McLean. Robert McLean. Ava McDonald. Demara McDowell. Emily McLeod. Adrian McMillan. Grant McNaughton. Sarthik Mehta. Lillian May. Sarah Melakile. Dominic Mendoza. Eleanor Minardi. Salam Mezgibo. Christopher Miller. Jordan Miller. Heidi Min. Robert Minowitz. Gracia Miranda Perez. Mariangeli Miranda Perez. Jason Miranda de la Cruz. Kelly Miranda de la Cruz. Moises Miranda de la Cruz. Finley Mitchell. Jessica Mitchell. Danique Moore. Jakaya Moore. Evelyn Moreno Flores. Charles Morgan. Jaylee Morrison. Dontavon Moses. Imani Muhammad. Joydeep Mukherjee. Anita Murali. Moana Mararasethi. Susanna Morowski. April Murphy. Leila Matune. Olivia Mwangi. Abigail Nelson. Hunter Newkirk. Grace Newton. Ayn Nguyen. Lux Nguyen. Kiera Nolasco. Luis Nolasco Reyes. Daniel Nuagu. Hunter O'Connor. Matthew Ofadil. Samuel Olson. Richard Okoro. Ashley Oliver. Rebecca Olson. Samantha Overton. Mavis Owusu. Alexander Pacheco Lopez. Sejo Padmankar. Olivia Pajak. Om Pandi. Subiksha Pandyarajan. Rohan Pasi. Akshar Patel. Jay Patel. Ryan Payne. Maya Peebles. Priceless Penny. Clarice Perry. Anijah Petway. Solomon Phoenix. Megan Fung. Sai Palutla. Harikiran Pinapaka. Tyler Penhiro. Cecilia Platanero Sell. Ethan Pongras. Sahil Pantula. Nicholas Pope. Noah Posey. Annalise Poulain. Anad Powell. Kiana Powell. Joel Pulikal. Tasia Pulley. Isaiah Purnell. Anish Purohit. Hyatt Rollin. Hayden Rains. Lauren Rakestraw. Pearl Ramos. Harold Ransom. Ameya Rao. Akash Ray. Rohan Ray. Naveem Reddy. Adam Reichert. Jordan Richardson. Lisbeth Rios. Jennifer Rivera Bermudez. Ricardo Rivera Macias. Bria Robinson. Kenna Rogers. Diana Rodriguez. Daquan Rogers. Andrea Romero Barajas. Amy Romero Martinez. Dominic Ross. Sharika Rowland. Carly Roslander. Savannah Riles. Dekai Ryan. Catherine Ryan. Esli Saavedra Santiago. Rutvi Sachanaya. Emily Salinas Lopez. Kofi Sally. Kaylee Sanders. Marcus Sanders. Olivia Sandy. Alu Sane. Yamila Sarabia Andrade. Christian Sass. Joshua Satterwhite. Sienna Saunders. Devonte Scarborough. Jack Shavo. Kejon Schmidt. Caroline Schmidt. Marissa Schroeder. Dylan Schwartz. Karina Sibelak. Ananya Selam.
Doris Segovia Alvarado. Keegan Sell. Morgan Sewell. Ariane Sheikh. Allison Shanahan. Ariane Sharma. Mackenzie Shatilla. Zachary Shelton. Alani Shepard.
Zane Sharid.
Emporia Shields. Emily Shi. Dana Schulman. Nayeli Sibida Puerta. Catherine Sarah. Yerozo Su. Miguel Sixto Olvero. Maya Smith. Arden Sneed. Joshua Sobel. Abhinav Solasa. Liliana Solove. Snigdha Sampali. Ning Soon. Anaya Spence. Isha Srinivasan. Sriram Srinivasan. Hilton Stallworth. Lucas Stagio. Diamond Staton. Alec Steen. George Steffi. Melanie Stevens. Nia Stewart. Handsome Stubbs. King Stubbs. Catherine Sumner. Aditya Sundaram. Prerna Surti. Grace Suzik. DeAndre Swain. Aiden Tampton. Mariama Tyrawali. Belton Taylor. Ivana Taylor. Nyasia Taylor. Xavier Taylor. Jacob Thale. Jackson Thomas. Jonathan Thomas. Briley Thomas. Jamal Thorpe. Amelia Tilson. Abigail Tinker. Akil Tepareddy. Anvi Tirnagari. Kamari Tobin. Kamari Tomlinson. John Tovar. Kathleen Trang. Abner Trejo Rodriguez. Abigail Troncazo. Bratasia Tucker. Jane Turlington. Hallie Turner. Tanaya Turner. Emerson Tuttle. Zane Utterback. Neil Vicaria. Katie Valentine. Sarah Vandeland. Libby Van Hook. Leslie Van Coy. Roger Vakis. Malcolm Vaughn. Chris Vasquez Ramirez. Ramia Vega. Venetia Filmanetti. Scarlett Fink. Skylar Vink. Uday Burke. Erica Vogt. Rohan Vora. Martero Wagdi. Kalina Woloski. Harmony Walker. Hannah Wall. Avery Wallace. Cassie Wan. Colin Wang. Eric Wang. Erica Wang. Michael Wang. Khalil Waters. Tyree Watson. Megan Watts. Esther Wolongo. Isaac Wesley. Ashley West. Ahmad Whitaker. Ayana White. Nora White. Roderick White. Wichisana, Elizabeth Wichter, Adrian Williams, DeAndrea Williams, Jared Williams, John A. Williams,
Kalunji Williams,
Jim Whiston, Carter Wood, Wesley Wood, Sarah Wooster, Jaden Wortham, Gwendolyn Rather, Ashley Wright, John Wright, Lauren Xavier, Catherine Shing, Samuel Yang,
Sri Pallavi Yendamuri,
Natalie Young, Jawan Young, Haley Zaremba, William Zhang, Jerry Zhao, Caroline Zhu, Esther Zhu, Tupshin Zhu, Aiden Zimmerman.
Hello, I am Kathy Moore, Superintendent of the Wake County Public School System. It is with great honor and yet dismay that I bring you greetings as a part of this virtual celebration. More than anything, I know that you want to see each other, to congratulate and celebrate together. Graduations are a time to cry and hug while we celebrate. I personally enjoy seeing those smiles of deep personal satisfaction. But of course, this is not possible. And while the superintendent does not usually speak at graduations, I do want to offer my sincerest congratulations and a few brief thoughts about the months and years ahead. I want you to know that despite the effects of COVID-19, this coronavirus will not define the class of 2020. The class of 2020 had already defined itself in the classroom, on playing fields, and in countless expressions of art. It defined itself by its caring and compassionate support of others in the community. I am sure that many of you can see the irony of this moment in time. As graduating seniors, you realize COVID-19 is not only a common adversity that brings us together, it also highlights the differences among us. This has allowed you to learn a lesson unlike any other graduating class, a lesson about the value and power of empathy, compassion, and grace. You have no doubt been the recipient and the benefactor of these acts of kindness. I ask that you remember these lessons. They will serve you a lifetime. They will make you a better person. They will help distinguish you, the class of 2020, in ways that can truly change our world. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
As the Enloe Magnet High School 2020 Student Body President, it is my pleasure to invite the class of 2020 to please join me in turning our tassels.
Seniors, please stand. By the power vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Wake County Board of Education, I pronounce you graduates of William G. Enloe Magnet High School. Congratulations.